So excited for the art as the podcast. So the R&B detective. Well, this rescheduled interview is back in action. You know, I got a legendary R&B synth pop group, The System. They're gonna be on the R&B talk show. And man, just want to say thank you all, man, for the emails, being patient, and everything. I really appreciate that. You know, say you guys showing, you know, me love. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You guys didn't have to do that and stuff, you know. If you guys want to donate, you know, to my Cash App, that's my Cash App name right there. You know what I'm saying? I definitely would appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, from you all and stuff. But hey, Keith R&B, Heartbreak from the Bronx. Big shout out to the BX. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna be in New York real soon. Well, NYC, you know, soon and stuff. So I'll definitely keep you posted, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I love, you know, coming to New York and stuff. You know, my grandmother, my mother's side, half of her peoples are from New York, you know, saying true story and everything. There's V in the house, the PR, V's Vintage. Make sure you guys follow her on Instagram, you know, saying hardworking sister right there. Man, yeah, just want to say, you know, I apologize to you all from last night, you know, the interview I did with the system, you know, man, it was out of my control, but it was my fault because I didn't get a chance to keep my power on, you know, and plus the battery was hot, you know what I'm saying? So I thought to myself, I said, I would never do that again, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, you know, when you got a lot of stuff going on outside of it, you know, it's out of control, you know what I'm saying? Just on how you know, you place things and stuff, you know. But I want to say this, coming soon, those who find me on social media, I'm going to address this elephant in the room that's been on my mind for like the past 12 years, even currently. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to go live on Instagram because, you know, something that needs to be said. You know, it's been getting on my nerve, you know, for a while. So uh, I can't say when or where, but just be on the lookout for it. You know what I'm saying? So I might record a video. It all depends. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you in this industry, it's crazy how you got people that want to see you lose, you know? I done have folks tell me, well, yeah, Rashad, they talking about you. And I'm the type of person, listen, I got 1,000 stuff I be doing, man, all the time. I'm not thinking about, you know, what he say, she say. You know, if that's the case, you know, so I've been hair full of gray hair and everything. I like that color on you, Rashad. Thank you, V. I appreciate that. You know, but for me, you know, I just feel like I need to address that. It's been on my mind for a while, so be on the lookout, you know what I'm saying? I definitely got a lot to say, you know, and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, when it comes to that, because it's always us, you know, and I got an idea who I think it is, you know what I'm saying? Me, I've been in this business for a long time. I made my mistakes, and I regret it, you know what I'm saying? But also too, you know, I definitely want to get straight to the point in this situation, you know what I'm saying? So I put it out there. But anyway, man, so the background drop you guys see right there, The System, that's a 1989 top 5 R&B hit, midnight special. They should be on the way here in a second, just wait on them to come through. But make a long story short, you know, so every interview you guys would see me do, I would have different legendary artists, you know what I'm saying, music videos in the background. So be on the lookout for that, you know what I'm saying? With the new school artists, I'm just gonna keep it, you know, just the R&B talk show in between, you know what I'm saying? But I thought to myself, I was like, you know, give it video soul style type. So, you know, give you guys something to check out. Okay, hi Mick, hi David. Rashad from Brooklyn, much love. So grateful for you to reschedule this. By the way, the illness echo from the other night was serious. Facing music vibe. Had a sense, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, yeah, Mick, yeah, you know, he was on a laptop and stuff, you know, because a lot of times, you know, when a person on a laptop and a person like myself who was on an Android phone, you know, it's gonna be an echo on their part and stuff, you know, and a lot of times it get annoying, but a lot of times, you know, all you can do is just try to go through it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, as long as people enjoy what's going on, that's all that matters and stuff like that. Okay, they need a StreamYard link. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, check your text messages. Matter of fact, hold on for 1 second. You guys hold for 1 second. I'll be right back after this commercial break. Hold on. All righty. I okay, yeah, just check your text, V. So it should be in there right now. Yeah, so I am back like a woman found a good hair weave on a Friday. She going clubbing with her some of her alligator friends. But that's a whole different conversation. I know you guys are wondering like, what happened to Shy drinking the drug? So this right here, you guys can see I got this at yeah, at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So I love drinking water, you know what I'm saying? It's my thing, you know. Cause I'm gonna tell you, so this is a true story. Shouts to my cousin Paul in LA. So I was talking about drinking water because you know the older we get as people, you know, we gotta be careful on our kidneys and you know everything and stuff. You know? So this fool, you know, go to sit here and be like, "What'd you get there?" It was some type of water. It was a bottle. I said, "Cuz a bottle, dude. That's long as my head." I said, "My brother, all I'm gonna do is just drink right through it, man. I'm gonna go right back." Okay, you consider too. Okay, cool. I said all you do is go right back to the store. So for me, a jug lasts me for like a week, you know, say or 2 weeks and stuff. So you know, I'm gonna refill. I'm gonna give you some more, you know, water. So like that. So for me, I get like 2 jugs. 2 jugs could last me about like almost a month. It all depends, you know. But yeah, you know, we all got that one cousin though that I ain't play with a full deck of cards and stuff. And nah, but big big shout to Paul, you know what I'm saying? But he's talking about a bottle. I said, nigga, a bottle's not gonna last me, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so dude, you know, so for me, a jug is, you know, is everything, you know, because keeps you dehydrated, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's you know, and stuff. And plus, you know, for me, you know, just exercising and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, definitely matters the most, you know. But I will say this, you know, we definitely got to start taking care of ourselves. You know, we lost a handful of legends like Peebo Bryson, man. What's her brother's name? B. Williams. Man, you know, it's been so many people, you know, that's out there, you know. And people wonder why, you know, artists are dying. A lot of times it's the lifestyle, man, you know, that, you know, people live, you know what I'm saying? You know, and anything can happen, you know, said overnight, you know. But I say this, you know, for me, but my birthday was yesterday. I'm 45 years old, 4.5. And, you know, my goal is to live as long as I can to see my kids, you know, accomplish so much when they become adults, you know, looking forward to be a grandfather in the near future and stuff like that. And plus, you know, accomplish more things, you know, say, 'cause one thing about, you know, about life is that you don't have there's no age limit of starting over. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that's 70 years old just now start figuring out about life. And that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's not their fault, kind of in a way, you know what I'm saying? They did have parents that installed it in them, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad that they get advice from younger people. Yeah, it's a trip, you know what I'm saying? But big shout out to those that never give up, you know what I'm saying? So that's the honest truth and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But Yeah, man. 30 years in this business, man. I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this, saying far too long and stuff like that, what I'm saying? But for those who want to donate to the Cash App, I definitely appreciate that. Much love to you all, you know what I'm saying? All righty, here we go, y'all. The big event. They put this down. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, bro? We are back in full effect.
Back in full effect.
Oh man, I feel like like a reunion, man. Coming together.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Mike.
Oh man. Yeah.
Mike should be here. Mike should be here any second. He's
Oh yeah, he's right here. I can see you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm
in the show.
Oh, there we go. Hey.
Yeah.
All right, here we are.
All right. The 24-hour marathon. Okay.
Yes. Oh man, just want to give you and I'm gonna tell you so you guys have been a big great because I be an artist once upon a time so I decided I wanted to, do this, what I'm saying? And I used to rap this and
David, are you hearing Rashad clearly?
No, I can't hear you. Hey Rashad, we can't tell what you're saying.
You're vocoding.
You're
like buzzing.
Oh man, we're trying to echo it. Oh God, man. Oh, this ain't good. Hold on for 1 second. Let me see.
That's better now.
That's clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna stand still, man, like like a cop is following me. But
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, but I was gonna give you guys oh man, yeah, man. I feel like episode, since back in full effect, the season finale, man. But I wanna give you guys your flowers, for you guys to be in the business, for like I'm 45 years old, like all my life, you can say. Man, my mother has played y'all music, man. I mean, when she was a young lady, you know what I'm saying? And she had like bottles of Don't Disturb His Groove, really, really been romance. I mean, all kinds of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it made me a fan. It makes sense my mother play y'all music. That's how I was able to love, great music.
Right. Yep.
It's, man. I want to talk about this new single we talked about last night, What Baby Wants.
Yes.
Yeah, and how did this record come about?
All right, Mike.
I don't know. I was thinking about what baby wants. And whatever she wants, I want to give her.
Right.
I mean, basically, it came together pretty quickly. This was back when we were still using analog tape. So it was on analog tape, and David had this great track. And I think it came together in maybe an hour.
Yeah.
Right, Dave? It was very instantaneous. And we fell in love with the song. It's indicative of what we do, but of course, we have an album that has some things that that we're slightly more known for, kind of the up-tempo bangers. But this song really resonates with the people I play it for, my friends and my family and my woman.
That's the most important thing, right there.
Yeah, because when I heard the song through the email, and I said, man, the song is so smooth and so classy. I was like, man, the ladies will love this, because they want to hear some records that represent the women that feel like they get it from actually a real artist that have substance in their music, not talking about all this circus act.
Right.
Yep.
Got to get to what's important.
Hey, I wanted to segue a little bit. I was because of Clive Davis's passing. We had a couple of very rare experiences with him, and David, it made me remember Angie Bofield on the record we made with her. that a lot of
Right.
our audience may not know us for, but it made me listen to the record, and it is such a great, great record.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Have
Rashid,
you?
that you know Angela Bofield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we
Um,
Oh, yeah.
produced that album. Let me be the one.
Oh, well, I never knew that, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, love her voice, man. She,
oh
yeah,
man,
man, incredible.
she was incredible. At the time we were working with her, she was actually pregnant with what would she call her baby? The baby in the oven. I
I
forget.
can't remember. I can't remember that exactly, but that's right. She was pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, but it really made me think of her, and also listen back to that album. Um, wow, what
Yeah.
an incredible experience! And then also going to play the mixes for Clive. You remember that, David?
Yes, yeah. Clive Davis was, we had to play all our mixes, and then he would play the entire Whitney Houston album and ask us our opinion on the first one, Rashid.
Yep.
First
Wow.
Whitney Houston album before she was out yet.
And David, was it? I kind of had this thought. Was it you that noticed that the tweeter and one of his speakers were out, and
Yeah, yeah. One of his
you said,
speakers was
you said,
distorting.
excuse me, Clive, that speaker is distorting.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was looking at y'all song credits. You guys wrote and produced a lot of amazing records. I'm like, wow, some songs I already knew because it was out there publicly, and some of the songs I never heard, I never knew you guys wrote and produced for and stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
Another one you should check out is like on that was on that album is called Can't Slow Down.
Mhm.
And actually I was just playing it for my girlfriend because she's into salsa. She's from Ecuador. She's into salsa and stuff, and it has a lot of Latin kind of elements in it that are really great, and it's really a great song. It's called Can't Slow Down, and it's I think you'll love it. It's great. It has a relationship to the Pleasure Seekers. You know our song, The Pleasure
Yeah,
Seekers. It's kind of has a relationship. In other words, that it's kind of like has a Latin kind of feel
yeah.
to it.
There's a record, I wanted to ask you guys. You guys produced a song with Phil Collins, and I swear I kept hearing Mick's voice when I didn't heard Phil's. You know what I'm saying?
That was David's bass line on
That
that
was
They
my
song.
bass
bass line
Yeah.
with mixed voice mixed in with it somehow.
Well,
No, it's the best.
definitely
That's the
influenced.
studio. It's the studio, right?
Yeah,
You thought
definitely
you heard Mike
influenced.
on there. That's great.
Yeah, definitely influenced by Phil Collins. Also, he's also in that bag of tricks of singers that I grew up loving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard a record about like 2 weeks ago when I was in the car and I was listening to Steve Harvey's Magic 101.3 FM in Little Kentucky.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I pulled over to the side and when I saw him still playing, I closed my eyes. I was like, man, this sounds like Mick, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear Phil at all. I was like, replace Phil, put Mick in that, see what that would look like. That's all I
Oh,
kept
Let's
thinking.
try that. Yeah, let's
yeah. We
try
should
that.
Yeah,
try that. We should do a cover of
yeah.
Susudio. Why
Yeah,
not?
let's do it, baby.
Yeah, because I could only imagine what you guys would have done, man. High energy singing that record.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. I think it's time for us to do like some covers of other people's songs. The opposite of like Robert Palmer doing our song "You're in My System." How about
Hmm.
that?
Hmm.
yeah.
We'll do Phil Collins and Robert Palmer and Steve Winwood songs.
Yeah, man, bangers and stuff,
I'm joking, but yeah.
Yeah, so I wanna get to the beginning of correct me on this, both of y'all grew up in New York?
Oh no, 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 no,
Well,
no, no. David, you can start this part
okay,
off.
okay. I was actually born in the funk capital of the Midwest, Dayton, Ohio.
Oh
Which
man.
so, which Mike reminded me of yesterday. We were talking to someone else, and we were and I started saying, and they were like, "How did you start to get into like funk and R&B and stuff?" And I was like, I don't know." And then Mike said, "Wait, you were born in Dayton, Ohio. And that's like
Yep.
home of the Ohio Players and
Yep,
Dayton,
it's in the
right? There was a
water.
group called Dayton, and
Yeah.
right, right. And
Yep.
so I was born there, and then I did grow up actually in Long Island, partially and mostly in Boston, in the Boston area. But there's a lot of great music in Boston, So
Oh wow.
uh,
So,
That's
and what part you grew up in, Mick?
Oh, I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, which is
Oh man,
which is funk bedrock. I mean, the area that I lived in, they call it South Side. Um, there were so many musicians and bands, like great bands, and there were actually a lot of clubs you could play in. But most of my younger years there, I was in like the junior band category because there were other bands that had been around a little bit longer. There was a group called the Machine, Lloyd Henderson's band, great organist. Um, Omar Hakim actually played drums in an early version of my band, Jack Sass. Marcus Miller, Denzel Miller, Eddie Martinez. My next door neighbor actually was Eddie Hazel from Parliament Funkadelic's father.
wow,
oh my goodness.
So his son Clyde was my younger brother's best friend. And we were two houses away. So sometimes the funk would come out there and hang in the backyard and hang out with his name was Eddie Hazel. And
Right.
he actually was a process. You remember old school processes? Back in the Apollo days, I'm talking about, right? Eddie Hazel was a men's hairdresser. He would do processes, men's straightening hair.
wow.
That's what he did. So I grew up in a very musical neighborhood because everybody had a house in the area I lived. Bands could rehearse in the basement or the garage. So there were on any given Saturday, there would be like 20 bands rehearsing in the area.
Right.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Um,
So, you go ahead, Dave. My bad.
yeah, I was also going to mention that I had a girlfriend at the time in West Medford, Massachusetts, which like and that was like there was a lot of funk going on there. And the bass player in my band was also like from West Medford, and he was like an incredible bass player. He didn't know the names of the strings, but he could play any song, any style. He was incredible. So like between the singer in the band, who was my girlfriend also, and her family and my friend Steve Richardson, the bass player, I really was like educated in a lot of new music and funky music, you know.
Right. So, by the time both of y'all got 18, what was your mindset at what direction you guys want to do coming out of high school?
Oh,
All right. I
um,
will.
I
You want?
was already in bands when I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
I was in a band called the Soul Shakers, and we were competing with the cats who'd been around a while, doing our own version, mostly covers, but also some originals. Um, so I went from one band, the Soul Shakers, and I had a horn band with a lot of really great musicians called City Function, and then from there I was in a band called Jack Sass, and that band had LaForest Cope, who actually is the songwriter for "You Give Good Love," Whitney Houston
Wow.
song, and she kind of being one of the youngest, um, she was that person that came into your life that said, "Why are there these rules? Why not? Why can't we do this? Why not? Why not?" She was very rambunctious, and I think a lot of that energy, her rambunctious energy, uh, filtered into me and my desire to go further than just take the normal steps. Because you feel like almost like they're academic steps you have to take to be successful. You gotta learn music, and then you play in a band, and then eventually one day you make a record, and then. But she was like, "No, we can make a record now," and we actually did. We made a record when we were basically teenagers.
Yeah. Um, I actually also was in bands separately, in Boston, um, from the time I was about 14. And I had rock bands. I was in rock bands, and I had my own. We used to rehearse in my parents' basement, so there was always a drum set, um, and amps, and bass amps and everything down there. And so I played organ, um, and I kept playing in rock bands. I like had like a band that we played at all the functions, all the high school kind of functions in the area, in other towns too, up in Massachusetts, and And actually, we had kind of a funk band then because Clarice Taylor was the singer in my band. Mike, you knew
Wow.
Clarice
Yeah, of
Taylor, right?
course. Of course.
Yeah. So she moved to New York actually after high school, and I went. My parents said, you know, it's hard to make a living in the music business, David. And so I decided, and you should go to liberal arts school for a while. So I did go to college, liberal arts school at BU, and then every day I would walk by the School of Fine Arts, and they had like 50 piano practice rooms down there. And every day I'd go, okay, I could go to class, or I could go in here and play all these pianos and try out all of them. And I ended up doing that all the time. I still managed to somehow pass, like at
Mhm.
school. But then one day I had a motorcycle, and I knew that I wanted to play music my whole life. But my parents, like I said, my parents were a little sketchy about it, and I got in an accident and I broke my hand. I broke my hand, and I looked at my hand like I'd hit the back of a car. I looked at my hand and I thought, I am going to do nothing except play music the rest of my life when this
Wow.
heals. And I went and went to the hospital, got a cast, and I applied to Berklee College of Music after that, and I've done nothing else since except
Wow.
play music. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's one of the biggest, greatest colleges for anybody to learn all kinds of instruments and sounds and
Yeah.
stuff. And wow,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
And everything.
So yeah.
So yeah. So how did you two meet each other?
Oh my goodness.
There's you know, there's so many variations and versions of this because it seems like it would have taken a long period of time for all of these different elements to come together. I mean, sometimes I try to look at the timeline in a linear fashion, like I
Right.
did this and then this happened and that, but it all gets all jumbled together. Um,
Right.
Culminating in David basically calling me and saying, "Hey, I've worked on this new track." He had heard me sing, probably rather nervously, at at a session where we were trying to put together a track, and he invited me to sing on the song. But there are a lot of variations. Dave, I'll let you tell some of the
There was a lot of
variations.
background to that. There's a lot of background to that. But I called Mike and I said, "Okay, I have this track and I have studio time tomorrow in Long
Mhm.
Island, and I at a 24 track studio, which was a big deal then, right, to have it, because and I have free. Basically, this guy is letting us use the studio, and I have a whole track. Can you come down and write a new top line to the song, and listen to it and see if you want to, and then we can record it tomorrow?" So he said yes, and he was working another job, like in music for Change and these other bands. So I called him and said this. He met me, and we lived in New York City, and in New York City things can happen fast.
Yep.
And I took the subway down to where my this loft that I was sharing with like 5 other guys, and I played, and Mike came up like a few blocks from where he was, and I played him the track, and he was like, "Wow, that's incredible!" And he started singing a hook to like the chorus part of the song. It's called "It's Passion." It's on our first album, "It's Passion." It's the song after "You're in My System"
Wow.
on the Sweat album. You probably heard it. So,
Yeah.
and he started singing it, and I was like, "That's amazing." Okay, and will pick me up tomorrow morning. And he drove in and picked me up. Right? Isn't that what? Or
No,
I
you
met you
drove.
somewhere in
You
my
had a
car.
Vol. No, you had a Volkswagen Squareback,
That's right. But
and you
that's a
drove it
car
to
we
my
took.
house.
Right.
And I was
Oh, I
trying to
drove
remember
to
today.
right.
Wow,
I
how did
drove
we?
to his house in Queens, and
Yeah,
then we
I,
went to Long Island, recorded the song. Mike finished writing the song while we were recording it, because I the musical tracks were already there, all the drum machine and everything, and all of those things were already there and already ready to be recorded. And Mike wrote. He was like still writing the song.
yeah,
Went in, sang it.
I had the sections kind of down,
Right.
but if you listen to that track, what is it like 8 minutes?
It is
It's
like
like
8 minutes
8 minutes.
long.
And so I
Wow.
had the sections down, but we were just basically trying to find which section with which section. And I mean, it really came together pretty seamlessly. I mean, for us to
Right.
do that one song in 24 hours, particularly considering it has three very distinctive sections that
Right.
are moody and that take a little bit of change of attitude to approach each part. So
Right.
I'm saying it in a very sophisticated way. Then it wasn't that sophisticated, but I knew when I heard it, even in Dave's when Dave played it for me in the studio, I knew that my syncopation of my words, right, the punctuation had to be tight because the music was so tight. I couldn't. It wasn't like a slow melody. It had to be hard edged staccato, but yet with a lot of feeling. So I knew that part in my head. And then there's a middle section that's kind of a slow thing, and then there's a talky section. The I
Right.
like the way your body grooves. That
That's
part
right.
I like,
That's right.
and
That's right.
so there were a lot of parts, and we put it together quickly and
Right.
seamlessly. And the next day, that night, we
Well,
finished like maybe 3 in the morning.
right.
I
We
always
mixed
wondered,
it
Dave,
right then too.
how did you find my house? There were no Google Maps at that
I don't know.
time.
There were no. I know when you think about that, but we finished. We mixed it all on the same day. Recorded the vocals, mixed it. Okay, you want to go on, Mike?
No,
I'll.
so
Uh,
he dropped me off at my mom's house because I was living in the basement of my
that's
mother's
right.
house, and I had bands, so I had an incredible sound system there. So I played the cassette. I don't know if we had a cassette
It
or
was.
what did I bring home? A
I don't
cassette.
know. It was a cassette, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
couldn't have been because I had
No,
Dennis
no. It was
King
the. Oh, it was a
master it.
reel-to-reel tape. A
Yeah, it was a
reel-to-reel. Yeah.
reel-to-reel tape, but I must have had also
Yeah.
a cassette. But anyway, I played it on my stereo, which was, serious stereo. And it was so pounding. I was like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the sound I've been hearing in my head come to life. And so through my journey to learn more about the music business and working for all these different people, I had met a few people um, who said, "Hey, if you ever have any music," they didn't know any of my music, but they said, "Hey, if you ever come up with something and have a song or a track, bring it to me." And that was Ray Cambiano, who had
Right.
RFC Records, who
Right.
also had Change on the label. So I had that association through my work with Little Macho. And then there was Jim Delahan, who worked for Atlantic Records, and I had that relationship because of the group Clear, who I worked with. So these relationships that you pick up along the way,
Right.
you don't know how they're going to fit together, but you make those connections, and they all tie in together to help you get to that place you need to get to. So I took the cassette to my friend Dennis King, who was a chief mastering engineer at Atlantic Records, and I asked him to make 3 acetates, which he
Right.
did.
That's that morning, by the way, Rashid. It was
Yep,
that morning. We're not talking about like a couple days later. The
yeah,
next morning.
like 10
Right.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So he made the acetates, and I called the 2 people that I told you I'd met, through my time in the industry, and they both said, "Oh, come over, I'd love to hear it." And I immediately went to meet them, and then I played the song first for Ray Calviano, and he said, "Oh, I love this. I want this on the label. I want this. I want this." I said, "Well, I got to play it for one other person." So I took it to Jim Delahan at Atlantic Records, and Jim Delahan, who like I said, I met him through my relationship with Clear and being around Atlantic coming up and everything. He put it on his turntable in his office, and he said, "Hold on a minute." He walks through a door in the back and comes back out, and with him is Jerry Greenberg, president of Atlantic Records. He was just transitioning to
Right.
form his own label, Mirage. So he looks at me, kind of nods his head, sits down, facing away from me, so he's facing the speakers, and he puts the record on, and then literally like 20 seconds in by the time we got to the chorus, he said, "You got yourself a record deal."
Yeah. I really.
And he said it just like that. It's hilarious.
So
Oh,
so
wow.
literally it was 2 days that I called Mike one evening. We recorded it the next day in 24 hours. We had a record. Can I go on from here a little bit?
Yeah,
I mean, you
take
can
it.
elaborate. We had a record deal. Mike calls me, and meantime I go home, and I'm playing it for my girlfriend, and I'm going. It sounds great, but I'm like falling asleep and stuff. Mike, the phone rings. Mike calls me and says, "We have a record deal," and I'm like, "What?" So suddenly
Wow.
we had a record deal. The record was on the radio within 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the radio all over New York. Like it was an amazing
Yeah, in the
feeling.
days when there were 3 stations, it was like WBLS, KTU. What was the other station?
I can't remember,
I don't
but it
remember,
might
but
have
there
been
were
an
3
AM one.
stations, and you could get in your car and drive and switch stations and hear it playing
On all 3 of them.
segueing simultaneously on the other station. It was an
Right.
incredible moment. Also, in
Yeah.
that moment, Mtume, the great
Right.
Mtume, may he rest in peace, the
Yeah.
great
Oh,
musician,
R.I.P.
the incredible man. I think he contacted David somehow and said he heard the record and it made him pull over on the entrance to the Midtown Tunnel.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And he then he added us to the session for the song Juicy.
Juicy Fruit.
We both played on that record.
Oh, wow.
Juicy Fruit.
Yeah.
You know, Juicy Fruit, Juicy by
Yeah.
Notorious B.I.G. too.
Yeah, man, dude, that song, man. Oh my God, man. You know, besides Biggie was the original record, man. I swear, kid, I go to where in the 80s and little, I heard that song everywhere. That song probably was in my life from 3 years old until I was 19.
Wow.
Whenever you go somewhere, that song could never leave your head, man.
Yep.
That's right.
Good
Anyway,
stuff.
yeah.
So you guys was working on the debut album, Sweat. What direction you guys want to go when you guys was creating that debut album?
Okay. Well, I mean, we had done It's Passion. Okay, so that's the third song on the album. It ended up to be the third song on the album, and it was a hit, like a really big dance hit, and especially in Los Angeles and New York. So
And Miami.
and
Yeah.
and Miami, actually,
Yeah,
all dance places. And they asked us to make another 12-inch. And in the meeting, Mike said, "Oh, that would be nice, but how about if we just make a whole album? How much money will you give us?" And they said how much, and we ended up making a whole album, the Sweat album. And continued. We had already recorded one song called "Stand Up and Cheer," which is on the first album, which is actually pretty incredible too. If you
Yeah,
don't know
it is cool. Yep.
it's really, really cool.
So then while
and-
we're
oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, David.
No, go ahead. Jump in.
So then we're in Miami. We're doing like 5 clubs in 2 days. Like you play one club at midnight, another one
Yeah.
at 1. We're working. We're putting cash in the boot, right? It's not a
In the
game,
boot.
right?
Literally, I wore boots and we put the cash.
We're like, wow, we could just keep doing this. Whoa. So I had the track from David, You're in My System. I don't remember if I had come to your house when you live on the Upper West Side and you were playing the track and you were giving me different variations of the bass line. I don't know if I didn't have a melody or anything, but I kind of remember you had that Yamaha mixer. Was that Yamaha?
I don't remember exactly, but
and you're playing variations and you're like, man, I don't know about the bass line. I'm like, don't change that bass line. Leave it just like that. Give me the track. So he gave me the track, the cassette, and I had it with me. And, I work on songs by playing the music as I'm doing ordinary things, right? And see what comes to my mind. So I didn't have a hook. I'm in Miami. I'm watching TV, during the day before we go to do the nightclubs. And I'm watching Gone with the Wind. And the maid, what the hell is her name? I got to look her name up. The maid says to Scarlett O'Hara, he's in your system. He's in your system. You can't get him out of your system. And I was like, oh my God.
that's our song.
And immediately I had the hook. So we're taking the plane back to New York. And I said to David, David, I got it. I got the hook. I got it. And he said, well, what's it called? And I said, You're in My System. And he kind of looked at me a little side-eyed, like, that's some corny shit, right? But when I put it together with the track, and especially since that song and I also think he thought the verse was the chorus and that the chorus was the verse. So I flipped that and I made the chorus the verse, which is the syncopated part, and the verse the chorus, which is the beautiful layered, chords,
Wow.
strings, that lushness. So I could just ride the rhythm on that and be in love. And just be in
Yeah.
love and just let it flow, let love flow. And it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Wow, I ain't never knew that, man. Man, like that's pretty genius, man, to take a song and flip the lyrics around. Wow. And so, when you guys saw your video premiere, on like MTV, BT, and other places, and your mind's like, wow, man, we are like everywhere. You thought yourself like, like we made it.
Yep.
Yeah, we did good, but we did have an obstacle. The
Yeah.
obstacle, really, quiet as kept, was our biraciality, because
Wow.
it wasn't happening during that era. There were I don't even know if there was a biracial duo
Right.
during that time period. So
Right.
Yeah.
there was a little bit of, we don't exactly know what to do with you guys. You're
Right.
R&B, but you're kind of electronic, and we don't, right, David?
Yeah, there was. I mean, there was definitely some resistance. Like even in Atlantic, there was at
Wow.
first there was, but there was Rufus, like, before. Okay, but that was different because it's like lead singer and there were a couple.
That
So
was Shaka Khan and
yeah,
and
Shaka
them
Khan,
things and all that stuff. Come on.
Oh, we wrote that song "This Is My Night" for Shaka, on her "I Feel
Yeah,
for You" album.
I read that up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a great record right there. I
yeah.
love that
And
song
that
and
was
stuff.
around that time too. Well, about a year later, I suppose.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I love that record a lot. I like songs that don't get a lot of love. Besides songs everybody knows about one particular artist, I try to check the B sides and other singles. I say that song should have got more heavy play. I mean, no, let me take it back. Song should have got more appreciated, along
Yeah,
Mhm.
with
yeah.
"I Feel for You" and other records before that.
Mhm.
It gets appreciated. It still gets appreciated, and she opens her show with it a lot, so
Oh man,
it's good.
yeah.
Yeah, we
You
love
know,
we
it,
And we
loved it. That
played.
was
And by the way, Mike and I played on "I Feel for You." Mike, you sang on "I Feel for You." Did you?
uh I
Yeah,
don't
you did.
oh, okay. The
Yeah,
chorus. All right.
you did. I just checked the credits because they just used it on a major TV show again. So I
Oh, great.
I arranged a lot of the keyboards and played bass and everything, and you sang on it.
Excellent. You know what I was going to mention is that, when we were recording your Don't Disturb This Groove, we recorded it at Atlantic Studios. So
Yes.
right.
Atlantic Studios, the old Atlantic Studios, that's my puppy going crazy. The old Atlantic Studios, hold on one second.
That's all good.
Hey, baby,
Bring him
gotta
on
rescue him,
camera.
baby.
Bring her on
Yeah,
camera.
we got no
No,
special guests coming through.
we got
That's my
another special
dog.
dog.
That's my puppy
Dog
Foxy,
guest.
who loves me. Foxy can't do without me. Okay, so Arif is recording. What is he working on in the front studio?
He was
Oh,
recording the Bee Gees, actually.
oh,
Arif
okay.
Martin, the producer of "I Feel for You" and Hall and Oates, and I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he was like
Oh yeah, Hard Knocks. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. A
yeah, yeah, yeah.
genius, a genius. So we're working on "Don't Disturb This Groove," and he's walking by, and somehow he poking his head in to see what we're doing, and he said, "This is a great record. You should add a girl in the middle. Just add a girl in the middle."
He's Turkish,
Genius, like just
Arif
like that.
yeah.
Martin.
That's the only comment he had, and we did that. And I'm to this day, I know that's part of what made that track so acceptable
Right.
and made people so open, was because the commentary between the male and the female, right?
Yeah.
And
In the middle of "Don't Disturb This Groove," Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it is a great combination, man, because it's like a conversation record then when it is a record, what I'm saying? Because I'm also with no lyrics, man. Pay attention, are you listening? You're my favorite girl. Excuse me for a
mhm.
moment. And also words like, come on now. What I'm saying? Who comes up with some genius lyrics like that?
Mike Murphy. Mike Murphy.
Yeah, very, very pleased with that, and also very pleased to combine words that have never been combined before.
Right.
I mean, "Don't Disturb This Groove." I think David even was a little. he had to. I remember him repeating it a few times to himself, and
That's
then
right.
going, "Huh, right, Dave?"
Right. Okay. The only credit I'm going to take on those lyrics is that when I gave you the track, I wrote groove. I called it
Yes,
groove. Okay. So, but
100%.
that's not the same thing as
No,
what
no,
you're
no.
coming
But
up with.
that
But
was
it
Yeah.
written.
helped.
That was like the pillar. Like
It helped.
the tape said groove. And then I
Groove.
was living in Brooklyn at the time and I had my studio up on the third floor. And I was just like, groove, groove. I was like, it had such an intense, perfect groove. I couldn't mess it up. So I
Right.
just put myself in the mood and all of a sudden it came together. Don't disturb this groove, right?
Oh, yep. And it
Um,
was,
and it was just, to me, it was like, wow, that was a lightning bolt from God.
yes.
When we're in the studio recording it, we recorded it at Intergalactic, the vocal.
Yeah.
Intergalactic. Yep. That's studio. Yeah.
So we had cut most of the vocal, and we had a middle section. We were deciding whether to to either go straight into the chorus from the verse, or to
Or to what? Wait, Mike.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You froze. Is it your
Yeah.
battery? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh man, we just cooking.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm going to continue right now until he comes back on. Like
Uh-huh.
the chorus, it goes straight into the verse to the chorus, or add a section. And Mike had the idea to do. He said it should say like hang a sign upon the door that says don't disturb this groove, right?
Yeah.
Because and so we actually came up, we sat down and we came up with another little section to put between the verse and the chorus, and said hang a sign upon the door. And when we were recording it, we we had one. We were trying to decide what the melody would be for that part, and so we put. Mike sang one melody that was kind of hang a sign upon the door, like the higher melody,
Yeah.
and then that was good. And I went, why don't you just sing another melody at the same time that goes up? Hang a sign upon the door. Then it ended up to be like basically two different melodies at the same time, which is what it is.
Yeah. You can
Yep.
feel the spirit and the aura in that record, man. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's
It's
hard to put in words, man. You know, it's so much to explain and stuff. One thing I do notice, and I'm shocked every interview have not talked about this, y'all signature, like having a car in every video.
all right.
And yeah, I was just like, I don't think everybody caught on to it. You know what I'm saying? I started thinking, I said, they always had a nice ride, in every
Well,
video.
that's it, right? You're talking about "This Is for You" also, right?
It's for you,
And
yep.
Midnight Special, which
Special,
is
yep.
in the background here. Midnight Special. That's right. We did do that, except for on the Pleasure Seekers
Yeah.
video. The theme was Mike on a motorcycle, which I
Oh,
don't
that's
think he
right. I
ever
forgot
rode a
about that.
motorcycle. I don't think he didn't ride motorcycles, but there he is. Like, and he looked like he knew how to ride a motorcycle, and they
Yeah.
caught. Luckily, he didn't fall off. No, Mike, I can say that now because he's not on right now because his battery probably went dead or something.
Oh
But
yeah, I
hey,
went through
Mike,
that
maybe he was a biker before. I don't think so though. Anyway,
though.
I
Yeah,
was. I told you I broke my hand, and that's the
yeah,
reason why I decided to become a professional musician
yeah.
because of
That's
that.
crazy,
So,
man. Because my aunt, she still ride motorcycles and stuff. But she had a
wow.
girl motorcycle group at one point and stuff back in the '70s and '80s, and the husband she's with now he ride bikes. So it's like it's crazy, but like y'all generation was like no but motorcycles besides hot rides and everything else.
Right. That's right. I never rode
Man.
one again, by the way, because I wanted to be able to play the piano and keyboards my whole life. You
Yeah.
can see all the keyboards behind me, right, Rashid? Can you see
Yeah,
them?
I can see right there. And thank
Yeah.
God, man, you making music, brother, because this world
I,
be empty without it, man.
I lost
We're
power.
still making
I
music.
pulled one of your tricks tonight. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We filled in. I don't know if you were watching, if you could see what we were talking about, but I continued from where you were, and I said we put hang a sign upon the door and did the two melodies in the opposite direction and stuff.
Yep, yep.
Yep. Yep.
And that combination of elements just really made this song. And that's collaborative magic. That's what I'm
Yep.
talking about. It's
That's
just
right.
in the moment. And I remember, Dave, you said you were outside. You were in in the mixing room or outside in the lobby or something, and you heard that me playing with that kind of interlocking
Right.
melody, and you were like,
Well, and that was also the end of the song. The "I need you, baby, I need
uh,
you." Know that section too, you know, which is an amazing thing. So yeah, Mike. We were just Rashid was just commenting about the cars in the videos while you were off. Ah,
yeah,
and the cars, and I
Yeah.
was just saying. I said, yeah, Midnight Special, Antique Car. Yeah, Don't Disturb This Groove, and This Is For You. I come and I rescue you in the Corvette.
yep,
But then
yep.
Pleasure Seekers was you on a motorcycle, and I said Mike didn't ride motorcycles, but he looked like he really could on that
I
one.
was riding
But I'm
that
not sure if that's
motorcycle.
true.
It was like riding a mini bike. Sorry, just like riding a mini bike, only with gears.
Well, let's get a
Uh,
couple motorcycles now.
No, life's
Rashid,
too
we'll meet
precious.
you. We'll start a gang.
Hey,
no,
life's
you
too
Uh,
got it,
precious
brother.
right now, man. You can't. Accidents don't heal so quickly these days, you know?
no,
Oh man, you ain't
uh,
lying about that though, man. I had a couple favorites that went through some couple of accidents. They fully retired from riding motorcycles.
yeah, I did too. When I broke my hand, I did retire.
Yep.
Yeah, because I just realized that I was like, that's kind of like y'all signature having a car. That's what I'm thinking about. It's like more like you cruising down the street, you play the good music, you just vibing
Right,
to it. It's like say like it's 9 o'clock in the morning, sunny outside, and everything just feels good for the moment. I start thinking about that, and you
right.
guys add that in some of y'all videos and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That riding in a car is a very pleasing thing. I write my best lyrical ideas while I'm riding in the car.
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
you know,
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to ask you guys this: the connection you have with Eddie Murphy, because y'all was featured on Beverly Hills Cop and Coming to America. Was he a fan of y'all?
Well, he must have been, but
I
I
know
didn't meet him.
MCA
Mike, did
Records
you ever
was.
meet him? I never met Eddie Murphy. Did you ever
I
meet?
met him. Yeah, I
Oh, you
met him
did.
at the what was it? Wasn't it the coming? Did you come to the Coming to America
Oh, I
premiere?
must have. Okay, so maybe I did. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't
It was
remember.
him and Arsenio Hall.
Ah,
Oh,
right, right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
Well, MCA really liked what we were doing. I mean, we were, I don't know who was the head of their regime during that time, but I remember them asking us for a song for, what was the first one? Beverly Hills Cop, right?
yeah, yeah. And it was Kathy Nelson. Kathy Nelson.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
She was definitely the flame. She's the one that
Right. Right.
got us there.
Right. And right. And oh, that was Rock and Roll Me Again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking of. Right.
Wow.
Right. And Rock and Roll Me Again was Eddie Murphy was in that movie, right? In Beverly Hills Cop, right?
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. Yep.
So
Oh,
actually,
yeah. And then
Jimmy
Nile
Iovine.
Rodgers, who produced
All right.
the theme for Coming to America, I guess they were looking for Atlantic artists. He immediately thought of us to come work on Coming to America, and I knew him coming up at Atlantic. Like I had been to a lot of his sessions. He was just around. He used to come to see my band Jack Sass play in New York. There was clubs like Leviticus. You ever remember hearing about that club?
Yes.
I
Oh,
had a band
gee.
that played there. I actually have photos of him, Bernard, and Tony Thompson together with my band at Club
Uh,
Leviticus.
Right.
man, R.I.P. Tony Thompson. Man.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Because I was just thinking to myself, it just hit me when A. Murphy did Come to America Part 2. I said, man, that'd be perfect. The system was to perform in that scene, man. That would be perfect. Just sing the theme song of it and everything. I said, man, that
Yeah.
would have been awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do it on Coming to America 3.
Yeah. Yeah, hoping
We're
that happens
ready.
and stuff. Oh man, one of my favorite albums I always post this a lot is Rhythm and Romance. And
Oh.
Thank you.
and I tell you, man,
Oh.
I was like, man, you guys put your whole foot in that album, man. I
Oh, we
mean,
worked so
that's
hard on that album.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
God, we worked so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's like some fantastic. It's kind of it was New Jack, but I think it was
Some of it.
Future Jack. I think it was a little
yeah.
Future Jack, right?
Right.
I mean, that was a
What?
deep album. We really, really we put our heart into that.
Yeah, you did a post of "I Don't Know How to Say Goodbye," didn't you, Rashid?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 'cause I
Right.
said that song had so much legs, man. Like it could have been a
Right.
single, and I
Oh
was pissed.
yeah.
I said, "Who would look like a female man?" Say, Mike's walking up, man. He's like, "I love you, though, but I'm gonna have to go." You know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's
yeah.
being real.
Deep lyric.
I don't know how to
Deep
say.
lyrics. So
I want you
deep.
to play
Woo!
around. And
Those were the best.
the lyric was absolutely real. It really was.
Yeah.
It was real. It was really about my life in that moment. You know?
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
and the rhythm, the way it works with the verse rhythm
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and the turnaround, baby, I know how to say I love. The way it turns to the chorus is just amazing. The B section, I
Yep.
can hear everything right now. Yeah,
Yep.
we really we worked hard on that record.
We
But
worked
it
hard
just
on.
came at a time just to show you that the label we were on was coming apart.
Wow.
I know the music was good. The label we were on was coming apart. They didn't have the resources, or music was changing a little bit. It was kind of going to more hip hop, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
during
Yeah.
that era was exactly when a lot of the hip hop artists were kind of crossing over and using music instead of just a drum beat. They were really using songs with chords and changes and rapping over them. So we were like kind of at a crossroads in that moment.
Right.
But that album, man, think about it, David. Think about
Right.
it.
Think about it. There's a song. I don't know if you know that
Oh,
song,
think
Rashid. Think
about
about
it.
it.
All the
There's,
30
Oh
years.
yeah, man. I gotta
It's
play it.
not
I've
your
been meaning to play
mind.
that, man.
Oh,
right.
I love that song.
And Soul to Soul. You did
Oh,
a thing on Soul to Soul too, I think, and Have Mercy, which is you showing
Yeah.
the video. Right, yeah.
we
You
should.
made a
Yeah.
video out of our other video over Have Mercy, and we really appreciate that, by the way.
No problem,
That was
because I
great.
was trying to give like a kind of like a sequel. Like I said, okay, with so it'd be like a North Service Group sequel. Then I said, for the Have Mercy, let it come from Midnight Special. Let it lead from follow up to follow up.
Right.
Kind of give that
Hey,
theme and stuff.
Rashad, quiet as kept. That's how I sold this interview. I'm like, David, this is the guy that always posts those cool videos. He
Right.
does
No,
he
they're
does these
great
killer videos.
videos.
We gotta do this.
Maybe we could
Yeah,
make our yeah. Okay, we can talk afterward about you making.
yeah,
Okay,
most
great.
definitely, man. We definitely talk about that, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You're already
yeah,
doing
because
it.
that I mean those songs, man, it had like a soundtrack. Like, man, you can put those songs, the shows that was hot at the time, like a soap opera or some movie soundtrack, and what that would have looked like, and
Yeah.
you're right about that because when hip hop came with NWA and all of a sudden it came along with it, man, it's like everything's like people don't want to hear about love, they want to hear about violence and everything.
Uh-huh.
And I get it.
Yep.
I
All
get it
right.
and everything. Now, Mick, you had a solo album was called Touch. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. What pursuit you want to drop a solo album far as back then?
Well, I think Rhythm and Romance didn't get the legs or get the attention that it could have. And sometimes change is good. I
Yeah.
think we both benefited from a little bit of a break.
Yes.
In many ways. It didn't do anything to deter our ability to come together and write great music. I think maybe
Right.
it may have added to it. It's like when you get a divorce and you have a marriage in between, but then you meet your flame again and it's
Yeah.
on.
Oh my goodness,
It's really like
that's
that.
happening
Yeah.
with me right now.
Yeah. It's
Oh
really, really,
man.
no, I swear, it's really, really like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I'm glad though that because that was my whole goal. I said, man, I'm gonna push the albums that songs that should have been have singles, should have been videos, say behind
Right.
it,
Right.
and labels,
Mhm.
being constipated for all the wrong reasons,
Yep,
you
yep,
know,
yep.
and the way it's looking, a lot of those labels, I keep hearing about Atlantic's gonna be, collapsing in a couple more years, and it's gonna be this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now for David, for you, you produced Christina Aguilera, on her debut album. How did
Right.
that connection got started?
Um, let's see, how did that start? I mean, I actually had it was, I had moved out here. I moved out to Los Angeles, and Mike
Yeah.
lived in New York. So I was like, writing with some different people, and I was writing with Steve Kipner, and I wrote a couple songs with him on 98 Degrees and some of the boy bands at that time. And then I just basically what I do is I write music as much every day as I possibly can,
Wow.
and so I had a track and people were coming over, and there's a A&R person named Ron Fair, who Mike and I actually worked with too on Go West and many
Yeah.
other things. And then Ron Fair had a group called Wild Orchid, which ended up to be Fergie, who, on the Black
Wow.
Eyed Peas. Fergie
Yeah.
was in Wild Orchid, and I
Oh,
worked
I
with
didn't know that.
yeah, I worked with him on that album. And then one day he said, I have this girl who's great, and I want you to play on her song that's going to be on a Disney soundtrack. And I went and I did the session. It was a session. It was for the Pocahontas, or not Pocahontas, Mulan. She had a song on that. And then I was like, and I was going, oh, she's kind of a straight ahead, legit singer like Barbara Streisand or something, I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then he asked me if I had anything, and I did. We had written this song, and I sent it to him, and he was like, we love this. We want her to do it. Anyway, that's how it happened. And then we did it.
Yeah, because I
There
remember
you
I
go.
bought the 98 Degrees of CD,
Oh,
and at that
98.
time, I think I was a senior in high school. One boy said, "Man, you gotta check this out, man." I love this to productions. Then I saw your credits. I said, "Oh man, he was a part of that." I said, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's why his album sounds so good, and everything and
Oh,
stuff."
well, that's nice. Thank you very much.
And not this too,
Nice
other people
segue.
have all read it, but
We're trying to, yeah. You know what? There's a song we have our album, Unreleased, Unleashed. I don't know if you've heard
yeah,
it, but there's a number of songs on there that I know you'd really like. There's She Said Yes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is a fantastic song. And there's another, that's the one where Mike and I are standing. It was a failed album cover attempt that we did for the second album, for the Experiment album. We were going to name it Call of the
Call of the
Wild,
Wild.
because we had,
Yeah.
and then so the album, the art director got a photographer who had an idea. We'll do it with dogs and sleds, and we did this.
With
We
wild
did this
dogs.
and it was in New York City in a studio, and the dogs had to be sedated so that they'd be okay,
wow.
like in the set. And they
Yeah.
kept blowing, they put plastic in front of fans that kept getting in our eyes and stuff.
Oh
So if you ever
yeah.
see that album, it looks like we're miserable on the album.
Oh
Anyway,
I
we
man,
didn't.
used
I
it
didn't
as
look
an
like I
album
was
cover.
miserable.
Okay, I did.
I look like Marco Polo. Hey.
oh man, yeah, because that album cover man was so opposite of y'all
Right.
music, man.
I know. We never used it, but then afterward, when we were making this album, we went, hey, wait, that's classic. We got to use it. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh,
She Said Yes is a great song. There's a lot of others great. There's a version of You're in My System that's a little different on there, and a lot of songs that you'd like. Deja Vu,
Oh,
I don't
Deja
know.
Vu. Yeah.
oh man, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
There's also the Electro Soul Pioneers album, ESP, has like
Hmm.
is a somewhat different take. And our new album is Time Stretching, which will be coming out soon.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Yeah, because this new album, what can the fans expect, for new project?
Mike
More
Murphy,
like it's us. It's just
it's
us.
us.
Without any constraints. We love some classic songwriting, and then we love some trickery, and some, you know,
Just
production value. But it's all us. It'll be a sound you're familiar with. Um, but us
it'll be
as
familiar, but there's a lot of experimentation on it too, like it's always been on
yep.
our albums, really. Um, Going in some
Yeah,
different, somewhat different directions too, that are really cool. I think you're gonna really like it.
Hmm.
yeah, I can't wait to hear it, man. Because I meant to tell you that too. I had the opportunity to listen to System Overload. It was like months ago.
Right.
I forgot
Oh
to
yeah.
DM you that, man. Oh my god, man! I wore the hell out of that album, man. I
All
mean,
right.
in my
There you go.
car, shaving, cooking.
Yeah. That was a good record. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good record.
Man,
Yep.
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
No Fear of Flying. Do you know
It's
that's
on that. Yep.
Woo!
on the System Overload album? No
Yeah,
Fear of Flying. That yeah, it's one of my favorites.
man. It's you know when I heard that sound, it's like man, it's like mixing different ingredients like it's on steroids, man. That's a whole different monster of its own, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You
great.
know,
Glad you
you,
like it.
for you, David, you know how you come with these sounds. You know, when you working on before this like the song was even written.
You know, I'm just sitting here with a bunch of this stuff. Here, look, all this
Wow.
stuff here, right? And then of course all the software synths that are available now too. Like on System Overload, we did a lot. A lot of it was like on in the laptop, but actually lately on this album, it's like a really big mixture of a lot of real, synthesizers, physical
Wow.
synthesizers, and um, I just mess around with it. Basically I just start with one note on one sound that I kind of think is interesting, and then it just springs out. I'm not sure where it comes from,
Yeah.
honestly.
If I could get y'all permission to play a snippet of y'all song after the show is over, I could post like a snippet on Instagram. If that's cool with you guys.
That's good, right, Mike?
Yeah, that's okay. Yep.
That'd be great. Fantastic. We'd love it.
Okay, perfect, man. I can't wait, man. Because soon the album comes out, man, I'm downloading the hell out of it, man. So,
All right. That's fantastic.
and so,
Fantastic. All right.
man.
Well,
So,
thank you.
man, new single on the way, album on the way. What's next for you guys for the rest of the summer?
Getting this album out and promoting it.
Promoting it,
That
yeah.
ends up being a very big task. I was gonna say one of my favorite songs on that System Overload album, Tug of War.
Oh, right.
Wow,
Tug of
man.
War. It was, yeah, to me that's one of my favorites on there, and that's true life also. So it was like, but hopefully people get to dig into your oeuvre, into your set list, and discover new music and discover new tunes. And it takes a lot of time to listen to music. Everybody these days we're all in a hurry. We don't have time to discover that much. It all comes down to like the most basic way you listen to music. And usually that's curated and it's the radio. So you're listening to the same 20 songs 20 times a day. So it's very hard to get new music out there in that big way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man, I can't wait to hear it, man. And stuff. Yeah, that tug of war, man. That's a monster of its own, man. That's a whole different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
my goodness.
With that and stuff. Mick, I tell you, man. I mean, your voice is so unique. You know what I'm saying? Because like I was telling my boy Keith R&B, I say if you put his voice in, not just in R&B, instead of pop, put it in rock, whatever sound, it's gonna come out
Yeah.
country music.
Yep.
It's like a great blend. Like whatever David comes up with, it's gonna be incredible, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear Twisted, okay?
Oh,
There's a song on
my
our new
goodness.
album, which is
Yeah.
like
Oh,
kind
wow.
of, it's sort of a rock, song, funk song. I
Yeah.
don't know, but Mike sounds incredible.
Yeah, it's a funk rock song. Look, the album is diverse, and next we have to get it out there so we can start on album 10.
Album 10, right? We got that's right. There you go.
And
Yes, sir.
album 10 is not going to take as long, okay? I promise.
Right. Okay.
Yes, sir. Oh
All right.
man, just want to say thank you all for taking the time to coming over here. This was the sequel episode from the other one that collapsed, and that was my fault on that end. So I was like, man, we got to run it back, for this
Right.
one. And
No, great.
and I want to give a shout out to Beats V's Vintage, one of the hardest working
Yes.
publicists in the game, and
Thank you.
I appreciate her for negotiating making this happen.
100%.
Right.
We love to do it, and thank you for all those magic videos that you create.
Oh yeah, I got more on the way.
For our songs, and I love it.
It's so fantastic. We'll talk soon.
Most definitely, man. You guys have a blessed night, and we are out of here.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
Bye.
No problem, brother.
Bye-bye. Bye.